Alright, I am very excited to, in this video, be able to show you the solo mode for Ascension Tactics. Now, if you've been following any of our videos or any of our social postings, you probably already know a lot about this game, and we've talked about having a solo mode and a cooperative mode and campaign, but we haven't really shown you it. Now, if you want to play the PvP version of the game, we've made it available completely for free on Tabletop Simulator. You can download it in the workshop, and you can try it out, and you can see the gameplay and see all the excitement of it. We've had over 1,000 people in our private Discord server, playtesters who have been loving it, who have been giving us feedback, who have been helping make it better, and we want you to be a playtester too. That's one of the joys of doing something in Kickstarter, is you can kind of see the game and help influence it and see all the fun that's there as we're finishing the development. But this solo mode is not in the workshop. The solo mode is something we've been kind of scrambling to get the last bits of graphics and everything ready. So that's why I'm recording this literally hours before the Kickstarter launches, because I just really wanted to get it out there and show you what's possible. Just give you a taste of what's possible. There's tons of things that build off this, but you'll be able to hopefully from this video get a sense of how it works and how many different permutations and how many different ways to play this system enables, because we built it all on top of the same game engine. So let me explain the details and hopefully that'll all become clear. So as you can see from this board setup, it's the same starting scenario, the 3 shrine starting scenario that we recommend players begin with as normal. There's 3 shrines here in the center of the board, there's treasure, all the terrain is the same. I've used the basic starting characters, you can pick any characters you want to play with, center row, everything that's the same. Where things change are these, you'll notice these little tokens here. These tokens represent control tokens for each of the villains. And the villains are these guys over here. So what we've done is we've taken the same sculpts that you would be using as player characters, as player champions, and we've made villain versions of them. The villain versions of them are more powerful, and they are each get assigned a starting token at the beginning of the game, and that's how the AI, how the game is going to tell you what each mini does. One of those villains is the boss. The boss has special powers that are surge powers, which are controlled by this deck here, which I'll explain in a minute. The others all have special powers that make them harder to kill or do nasty things to you. You'll also notice that unlike regular champions, they don't have a power to command value. The scheme deck here tells you how to command them, but they have an honor value instead. And what that means is that whenever you kill one of those minis, you get that much honor. It's one of the ways you score honor against the boss and the villain minis. And it very much harkens back to, in Ascension, you kill monsters to gain honor. Very similar feeling that you get here. So the way that these guys get controlled is through this deck, as I mentioned. This is the boss deck or the scheme deck. We're still finalizing the name on it. And each turn, you'll flip 2 cards off the deck. And based on what card comes up, that will tell you what to do. So, for example, this one here says the villains get +5 attack, so they have +5 attack for the turn, and you command whichever villain is the skull icon. So when you ever command a villain, you take it, in this case it would be off the board, so it'd spawn at their spawn point, and it would move towards the icon, the control icon. These could be anywhere around here. It's going to move towards this shrine. So it's going to move 3 spaces towards it until it can get as close as it can to that shrine. Once it's adjacent to the shrine, it'll stop. But villains are bloodthirsty, so the AI will always move and opt to kill one of my champions, one of the player champions if it can. So if it can move and kill a player champion, it will. Otherwise, it's going to just move the shortest distance to control the spawn point, and they control the honor point, and they earn points just like players do, right? If they control a point, they earn points. The other thing you'll notice on this card is the threshold number there. That's the threat number in the middle of the card. And what that means is if there's that many cards in the discard pile when that card gets flipped, you also do whatever's in the red section. And that makes the villain get stronger and stronger over time, just like you do. Right? In a deck building game, one of the cool things about it is as you get more cards for your deck and you upgrade it, and also as you upgrade your champions, you get stronger and stronger. And so the villain mimics that with their threat level. So you flip that card, take that power, and then flip a second card, do the same thing. This one commands the moon icon villain twice. It would command a 3rd time otherwise. So commanding twice, that's the Arhat Templar. Bring them over here. Go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. The other thing to notice, villain champions work a little bit differently than regular champions. They can't pick up treasures. They can stand on the space, but they won't pick up treasures. They also never exhaust. So as you notice, I was able to command it twice in 1 turn. Normally you can't do that because you have to exhaust your champions whenever you command them. They don't exhaust. They don't exhaust when they get defeated. They can just keep running back out. They're very relentless. Okay, I think that is basically everything you need to know. For this scenario, you play until one team gets 20 points, and you just take a player turn, do your thing, take a villain turn. Take a player turn, take a villain turn. One of the things, if you're playing in a cooperative game, against the villain, same thing. The players take their shared turn, then the villain takes a turn, and you just keep going back and forth until somebody gets to the victory total. Obviously, the villain is going to get stronger and stronger the more cards that they're flipping, as hopefully are you as you're buying more cards, and that's everything that you need to know to play the game. So now I'm going to pause here, and then in the next video I will play a game so you can watch one play out in real life.